The Mindswap is a fairly well-known, go-to plot device for cartoons. Two characters swap minds, or souls, after encountering a machine designed for that specific effect, a magic spell, or, in the case of Gravity Falls, a magic static cling carpet. Looks like Ford recruited Virgil Hawkins, aka Static Shock, for one of his scientific ventures. Most often, the Mindswap is employed as a medium to resolve an argument and general differences between two characters. Usually the grass is always greener on the other side, or a literal walk a mile in their shoes type dealio. Another goal is to strengthen character bonds and friendships. For example, in Teen Titans Switched, Starfire approaches Raven and asks if she'd like to hang out with her, ultimately hoping to get to know Raven better. Of course, Raven isn't especially keen on the idea, since Starfire interrupted her meditation session. Enter the Puppet King and his magic controller. He uses some kind of magic to suck the Titan souls out of their bodies and temporarily transfer them into custom-made wooden puppets. While the guys get captured, Raven and Starfire swap bodies instead. The rest of the episode follows the two trying to figure out how to rescue the guys, learn how to competently use each other's powers long enough to fend for themselves, and, of course, getting to know each other a bit better. Three other examples with similar storylines are Gravity Falls' Carpe Diem, Kim Possible's Mind Games, and Jimmy Neutron's Trading Faces. Another trademark of the trope is that, usually, a voice actor's or actress's voice comes out of the character they swap to. In the case of Swapped, pun not intended, Hendon Walsh's voice comes out of Raven's mouth.
But what if they find us? What if our friends are doomed? What if I am stuck looking like this forever?
Where Tara Strong's comes out of Starfire's.
Please tell me, what did you imagine?
You not talking?
Sometimes, shows make meta-commentary about just this. Generally, though, the audience can assume that the characters in show hear the swapped characters as they normally talk. Swapping actors between mind-swapped characters makes the mind swap clear-cut to the audience, if not saves the actor some trouble in imitating the tone, inflection, and other little quirks of the other character. This is a point of contention for other internet cartoon reviewer, Mr. Enter. He's brought up that this particular approach to voice acting for mind swaps in cartoons comes across as a bit of a cop-out. To quote him, "Vocal cords aren't attached to the mind." I like to do overdramatic interpretations. Enter the Legend of Tarzan episode, The Return of Law. Technically, this episode plays with a plot device that's very different from the Mind Swap. By this point in the series, Queen Law is a disembodied spirit that's taking possession of other characters. Though, the direction for voice acting could very well face the same challenge as a Mind Swap. Besides having a character adopt Law's facial expressions and mannerisms, what's the best approach to voice acting to show that a character is possessed? Before delving any further, though, I think it's appropriate to give a general character sketch of Queen Law's character, tone, and mannerisms. She is a very coy and manipulative villainess, as well as a merciless and sadistic dictator. Though, in her debut, she seemed quite content with her kingdom, the lost city of Opar, at its current size, and her legion of enslaved leopard men, bodyguards, and servants. Law has reached the peak of the power and status she desires. Her big goal was to find the perfect suitor, or mate. She's tried to seduce Tarzan.
"I'll have your bedchambers prepared immediately."
And when he turned her down, she tried to kill him with an Indiana Jones brand crystal set up like the stereotypical 007 laser. On a side note, Tarzan isn't the first suitor that turned her down. There's several skeletons shackled to the wall in the background of Leopard Man Rebellion. One of Law's comments implied that they were previous suitors, left to starve, eaten by her strange squid monster. Please do not make any references to Zone10 in the comments, please and thank you, or otherwise. Law struts with an aggressive, confident air. When she speaks, there's a regal and sophisticated air to her tone.
"Sorry, Jane dear. This isn't for commoners."
She draws out some words longer than others to reflect just this. Her tone of voice fluxes between relentlessly condescending.
"How so?" "Well, you're not exactly native to the jungle, are you, Jane? But I'm sure Tarzan finds you an easy burden to bear."
Or silky smooth.
"Tarzan, do you believe in fate?"
Maybe. What is it?
"It's when two people are brought together despite all odds.
These are a few specific details to keep in mind. Law's original voice actress does voice Jane over the course of the episode when Law takes possession of Jane. There's a few scenes where Jane's voice actress steps back in, though, specifically when Law is trying to coerce a certain unscrupulous fellow into helping her out.
Delighted to see you.
And are you?
You are?
Why, of course, Mr. Dumont. You look like a man who knows how to handle the jungle.
Oh, why, Jane, I thought you hadn't noticed.
Oh, but I have.
Law's voice actress takes the reins when she monologues and reveals that she's taking control of Jane, though.
Jane is gone, Tarzan. Gone forever. All there is now is Law.
What I especially wanted to point out is what happens when Law takes possession of Tarzan. He's still voiced by Tony Goldwyn, his specific Legend of Tarzan voice actor. Tony mimics Law's sophisticated tone, injects condescension into his voice, and adopts her vernacular. He sells that Law is in control pretty damn well.
And now, the final tragic twist. I finished Tarzan's one true love with his own hand.
So, selling that a character is mind-swapped or become possessed without switching voice actors has been done. It's just more rare in occurrence, apparently. This is just one isolated example. There's probably more. This is just the most notable one I've come across.